So, Mr. Craig, could you join us, please? Again, thank you. We really appreciate it. This is 2 years in a row that Secretary Craig has been with us, and he has a very impressive past in terms of representing both cities and counties through Maryland Association of Counties as president, through MML as president, and being the chief executive of those local bodies as well. He understands our issues, and we appreciate his support. Secretary Craig.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. I am assuming if those things are not for sale that they're free. So do we just get to pick a couple of those off the wall? I want to start by giving you greetings from Governor Hogan, who was here last week. And I am very happy to be here, not just as the Secretary of Planning, since the Maryland Heritage area comes under my department, but also because I was a history major and not in Salisbury, Towson State College. The Maryland Heritage area does operate under the Maryland Historic Trust, which is one of the divisions in the Department of Planning. And that falls under my Deputy Secretary, Wendy Peters. And I'm also glad that it takes care of the whole agency and things that concern you. Now, he mentioned, thank you for my experience as mayor. I learned very quickly how important historic preservation was to help with tourism, and how tourism and that then helps with your economic development, but it's also important to have grant programs. Now, we are in our 20th year of having the Maryland Heritage Area, and we now have 13 Maryland Heritage Areas, and every county is now part of one. Of course, now we're in the Lower Heritage Shore area, and you were authorized in 2003, and you've done a lot of major projects here. I was down in this area earlier this year, for some of the things that have been done. And you've gotten $2.5 million in grants. I have to admit I didn't bring you any change today, but we were very happy that the governor did include the $2.9 million in our grant program for this year. So we have the funding, and we will be able to help 62 projects move forward this year, and that's very important. Sometimes that is helping them hire someone to help them figure out what to do, and sometimes it is phase 2 and phase 3, and it works all the way through. There is another reason I'm very happy to be here. When I saw that it was going to be the lower Susquehanna, the lower Chesapeake Bay, I live in the lower Susquehanna, the lower Chesapeake Bay Civil War, I had to bring this photograph. This is a picture of my great-grandfather, Battery B, Maryland Light Artillery. He enlisted in August of 1861. It was one of the first units, because it's Cecil County. Most of the people in Cecil County had gone over to Delaware and had registered over there. He was wounded at Mavern Hill. Then he fought at Antietam, and was ultimately, this is one reason I don't like people from Connecticut, the infantry regiment fled from his unit, and he and 17 other members got captured down when they were in 1864 after he re-enlisted, because I have the letter where he wrote about the necessity to end slavery. He had written that to one of his cousins. He got captured. Of those 18, 6 of them died in prison at Andersonville, and then a new book has just come out relatively soon, because they got transferred to Florence, South Carolina, and I was able to find that when he actually went. And then when he came back, when they let him out in February of 1865, he had to walk home from South Carolina, so he didn't get home until June. And that's when he got married and started the next generation of our family. So it's good to be here, and I appreciate everything you're doing. And we will make sure that this group gets some of that $2.9 million.